Welcome back. When you think of the wine coming out of Oregon's vineyards, you'd probably prefer not to hear smoke in the description of the flavor. Unfortunately, it is a concern for some varieties because of recent wildfires in the state. It's a subject getting a lot of attention locally and nationally. So we wanted to learn more about which grapes and wines are likely to be most impacted. Jeffrey Weissler from Pairing Portland Wine Shop and Bar joining us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Jeffrey.
Hi, Kathy. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, first of all, which wines do we need to be most concerned about? I read Pinot Noir. Is that the only one?
Well, Pinot Noir is the main one. I mean, that's where the conversation really needs to start. I mean, smoke taint, it literally does taint the wine. So there is a compound in the smoke that can transfer to the grapes and the vines. And I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's guaiacol, approximately. And it definitely creates problems. So Pinot Noir in particular is really popular, but it affects it affects grapes. So whether it was here in the Columbia River Gorge or down in Southern Oregon in the Applegate Valley, I mean, my God, what happened in California this past year, you know, this is a problem. So when you have, and really the taint, the smoke taint actually gets in the skins. So what creates the problem is when, especially with red wine, when the grapes are crushed, the skin, that taint is actually, that problem is in the grape skins. So that then is going to transfer into the juice, which will transfer into the wine, if those skins have had extended skin contact with their juice. So Pinot Noir always requires those grapes to be crushed and in the skins. So there are one or two ways to really work around it a bit, which would you like me to tell you about that?
Well, yeah, Jeffrey, I'm wondering specifically, since you're in the business, you have customers coming in, you probably get questions. Do they say, Jeffrey, how do I stay away from the smoke stuff?
Yeah.
So what's your advice?
And people just ask if, so people ask in general if the wines are just going to be smoky. Is that going to translate to a problem in the wines? So the reality is, if the producer left the skins in, it'll often show up. It very often shows up in the wines. One thing that I'm aware of is that sometimes when they make the wine, the winemaker doesn't get a real strong sense of it right away. Sometimes it's like a year later where it shows up, and then all of a sudden, you know, the feeling of tasting an ashtray, you know, or a lingering campfire, you know, lingers in your mouth long after the wine should be done with its lingering.
Yeah,
and
that doesn't sound too
really great
appealing. So Jeffrey, I know it's hard because I'm talking and you're talking, but I do want to, you know, get specifically to your advice for somebody buying a bottle of wine. Are there certain areas of the state to stay away from?
Sure. Well, there is an answer. There's an answer here that I think is important to know. So what winemakers do a lot, if they catch it, is they will not leave the skins in. So this year in particular, or a year where smoke taint is an issue, it's a great year to support Pinot Noir Rosé. So a lot of these winemakers, instead of making as much Pinot Noir, end up making more pink wine or rosé from those wines. And that way the wines don't have the extended, and it's the right time of year for it. We're heading into it.
All right,
so
Jeffrey.
They don't have the extended skin contact.
All right, good advice.
And then they end up being, you know, wines that don't have the taint.
Yeah, real quick there, I know you have some off subject here, but some Hamilton wine pairings, the big show in town at the Keller, because I see it on the board behind you. How do you pair wines with a Broadway show?
So we're pretty unique in that. What we do is we replace the normal language of wine with adjectives. So if somebody was to describe a friend as awkward, my job is to give you a wine where you can taste awkward. So what we do is we write adjective-based descriptions to people, places, and things, and pair wines to pretty much everything. So next up on the hit parade, after the Hamilton flight in a couple weeks, we're going to start wine pairings to the Portland Trailblazers. So for the playoffs, we'll have wine pairings to probably 8 players, the coach, and 1 wine to whoever they're playing.
Okay, we'll be looking for 3-point perfection then for Damian Lillard.
Have a lot of fun.
Yeah, all right. Jeffrey Weisler, thank you so much. Pairings Portland Wine Shop and Bar. Sounds like a fun spot, Rod. I know you were liking the sound of that wine pairing.
It sounds like Portland. I'll give the gentleman that. It sounds very, very Portland.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Okay, we have an important heads up. If you